guys want to start the interview off?
Oh.
Oh,
I don't even know.
Okay, so never mind.
No.
Well,
That was a lot of pressure.
It's like, welcome to SPX 2017.
No, it's welcome to SPX 2017.
Time
27 time.
There you go.
No, that was an authentic one.
Okay, fine.
We were teaching you how to do it properly.
Okay, sorry. Welcome back to SPX 2017. My name is Joe.
I'm Rusty.
Claire.
Kelly.
These are...
Nobody was as excited as you are. I'm sorry.
No one is. And I think that's a reflection of me.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like, if I'm the only one that's excited, I think I am the problem.
We all learned about ourselves right there. It's all right.
We
So
just
guys,
can't match it, so we're not even going to try, you know?
Guys, what's going on?
So,
It's Sunday.
It is Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We successfully Saturday'd from start to finish all the
Yeah.
way through.
And in this year, there was actually a big part of Friday, too.
we
Yes.
we Friday'd
Yeah.
and Saturday.
Yeah, we did Friday and Saturday.
Karaoke in honor of Ed.
Yeah, it was very sweet.
I love that there's now Ed's karaoke party at
Straight up.
SPX every year. Like, it's perfect.
Yep.
I didn't realize how much it would take out of me until halfway through yesterday. I was like,
Yeah.
I feel really tired.
Yeah.
And maybe a little just bad. And I could only chalk it up to the 6 hours we spent down in this room yesterday.
Yeah.
Friday night, yeah.
Watching
Rusty-
people leap about
Rusty
and
and I
scream.
hosted the karaoke in honor of Ed Simonkevich's passing.
and did an excellent job.
Thank you. We may have done a good job hosting, but that was only a little bit every few songs. You guys were up there almost as much as we were.
Singing your hearts out.
Well, once we realized it was like the room was kind of sparsely populated, I was like, oh, this is kind of sad. And I was like, no, wait a minute. This just means it's our party.
It was all
Yes.
opportunity at that point.
I was really happy because it got very full at times, and it would kind of thin out, and then it got bigger again, and that was nice. And I think a lot of people felt encouraged to participate, even if it was just the once.
Yeah.
So that was nice. And then I started seeing lots of repeats. Like, people were like, no, this is my show now.
Yeah.
Like, if there is
And-
time, I will sing another Disney song.
And
Yeah.
so there were about 4 Hamilton songs that got sang,
There were.
which I was impressed by.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they would be like in the songbook.
Yeah, we were impressed with that
And
like,
then
catalog.
What I did not expect, I did not see this coming. Then we entered the Disney songbook. There was
How
so
did you
much-
not see that coming?
went deep into
Karaoke
Disney
always
songs. I think-
devolves into Disney
I
characters.
had
Disney
done karaoke
songbook.
once before, approximately 2 months ago, and I can say with certainty, no Disney songs were on.
And
It
It never hit
subpar.
its true
It
potential.
depends on the crowd. Yeah.
So it was a substandard karaoke time because of that?
I mean, you could have gone so much further, so
Yeah.
much more Disney.
Well, now I know.
Now you know.
Now I
You're
know.
ready for next time.
You just look at the 90s releases from the Disney studio
Oh, yeah.
and pick songs.
Yeah.
You're hitting your core demographic here
Yeah.
with that kind
And then
of
an
song.
entire room is singing The Little Mermaid at you. It's
No,
great.
That was one of the greatest things
I'm
ever.
sitting there at the computer that you choose your songs with, and I look around and everybody is singing the song.
You know what?
Because everybody
Can we do
knows
an
that
insert here?
song.
I put some of the video right here.
We're gonna put a little video right here.
Yeah, we're gonna put it here, and then you can enjoy that.
Wanna see you dancing, walking around on those, what do you call them? Feet. Living your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along down. What's that word again? Street. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun.
That. And now we're back, and that was the
Now
video.
we're back. What
There
a
you
great
go.
video.
How great was that?
It was really good.
Really good video.
It was a very accurate video.
Yeah.
a lot
I
of
was
flailing
so-
arms and
I was so charmed by it.
yes, I feel charmed right now.
Well, that's because
I was charmed at the time. I'm
That's
re-charmed.
because I'm so charming.
Yes.
And that's why.
I really feel part of this world, you know?
Oh, it's almost as if that was a reference to the song that we sang.
You might think so.
Oh man, who
It's
knew?
good that we just listened
I'm
to that
peaking
song.
right now. This is the best I'm going to be able to do
and
all
then we
day.
That's cool.
ended it strong with Bohemian Rhapsody.
That was
Yes.
so
Yes.
fun.
And there is video of that out there. I have not seen it yet,
Oh, I saw
Yeah.
that because one person didn't participate, and he was the guy like with a camera.
and it was
Yeah.
great.
Didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again.
to get our
really
hands on that.
I told somebody inside, I really want to see it, and I may only really want to see it once, and then I don't want to see it anymore.
Yeah.
But I do want to see it
and
at
then
least
we're
the
good.
one time.
It was all of us just screaming.
Yes.
But that's the point of Bohemian Rhapsody. But
Absolutely.
My favorite moment, and this may be a little self-centered, was when I did The Gambler with Sarah.
dude, you guys
Yes.
did really good.
And when I got to the part, I didn't know this line was coming about dying in your sleep, and I screamed it like it was a death metal part. And I really had fun doing it, but then I heard you guys laughed so hard. I was like, yeah, I hit my demo.
Yeah, you know. Spot on.
Yeah, karaoke is driven entirely by enthusiasm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You need nothing else.
No.
You need to know like 80% of a song.
Yep.
You got the words in front of you and just sheer moxie.
I learned how important that was
We had no question that we were going to kill it with Regulate.
by Warren G.
And there were a lot
Dude,
of
you
words.
guys knew it. You knew the whole thing, like
Well,
top
we
to
knew,
bottom,
we
just
knew
like bam, bam,
part
bam,
of the
bam,
thing.
bam.
And
Most
then
of
there
the
was,
thing.
like, I couldn't hear the backing vocals, and I'm like, I don't know how long this word's supposed to sound.
Right.
And I just kind of backed out or screwed up,
Yeah,
and then Rusty took
yeah,
over.
yeah, no, it worked out. It was good.
I really wanted Good Day by Ice Cube, but it was not in there.
Yeah.
What?
Well, so
Weird.
Rusty and I have a long history with this song. We have probably had hours of conversation about this song.
Breaking
and its
down the
legend.
day.
We did a whole video
Oh,
about
did you
it.
do the research and
Yeah.
like just
So-
figure out where
There's
the
like an
day?
essay about what day it is. But
Right.
Yeah.
Didn't he go like, nah, that wasn't it?
Well, then
You're
that's fine, but we wondered how all of these things were possible and why he described them as such and how much of it was true. Because it focused on the basketball game that he played.
Oh, right.
And how, look, we honestly have a 20-minute video on YouTube already.
Yes.
Where we break it down this much.
And
very
it will be
detailed.
inserted right here.
Boom, 20 minutes. You didn't
Later.
want this,
Yeah.
but here's 20 minutes. As Rusty likes to say, I didn't ask for this.
I didn't ask this, guys.
But yeah, so that's what I was hoping for, because it would have been very poetic.
Yeah, but Regulate was good.
Was an
I was
excellent
happy
choice.
with that.
Yeah.
And singing Under Pressure with Sarah was very
Yeah,
fun.
it was very good. You guys did a really good job.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that
And there
was
was a
fun.
note
That.
that you held like a baby that couldn't be put down.
I was worried I'd pass out, but I didn't. So
That means you're doing karaoke right.
Yeah.
Like that means you're like when you're hitting that point where you're like, oh, they actually like real people sing this song. Like
was-
there's a reason that they're paid money to do
Yes.
that.
I was trying to get really good pictures of you, and then at that point, I just had to stop and focus on the sound coming out of your mouth. And I was like, I've never heard Rusty sound like this. Like maybe when he got hit by a car.
Yeah,
But not
but-
before or since.
no, not on purpose. I've never meant to sound like that.
Magic
So I guess
karaoke.
there's also comics. What's going on with comics?
Yeah,
and
what's up with
supplies?
comics?
Oh,
bunch of
okay. Well,
comics.
first off, let's reward you for supporting our Kickstarter.
Oh,
So
snap.
first off, you get to receive the 8th issue of Dirty Diamonds, Sex, and then you also get knuckle tattoos.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
That's
Put
very
them on
exciting.
your belly.
I will.
Yeah, straight across.
We spent a lot of time Googling all the different words you could do by using
All the
the
four
letters.
letters.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
That's
You spell out
awesome.
like the word allergic across your
Oh,
knuckles.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that they're in 2 different fonts as well, so you get a lot of variety in the style of your words.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
That is so cool.
So that's for you.
This is such a well thought out temporary tattoo.
Yeah.
Which you
Oh,
don't
I
see
had
a
to
lot
like
of.
measure what I thought the average knuckle size was
It's
because my
amazing.
hands were not good reference as they are very tiny.
baby hands.
Well, this is very exciting. So this is your current project.
Yeah, so that's the 8th issue we just finished and premiered this weekend.
yeah.
And we've made it and we did it and that's incredible. It's our best one yet. Like
It's so pretty.
she got the books delivered. She brought me a copy to work and I was reading it when I got home and it's just like every time you turn the page, it was just like something even more incredible than what was on the last page before. And it's like, usually when I go through the books, I'm like, ooh, that one probably didn't print as well, or we probably could have tweaked that slightly. But this one, I was just like, every single time, I was like, oh my God, it's perfect. Just front to back. Also, props on the inset cover printing.
Yeah. I think all interior covers
Oh,
need
wow,
something
yeah.
now.
Yeah, no, it looks awesome.
And they're all
what
like
is this,
low
sign
key.
language?
It's low key masturbating hands.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's the sex book.
Makes
so,
sense, yeah.
yeah.
There's a child right over there.
I know. That was really great timing for
And
me
the- and the
talking
mom's
about
ushering the child away.
masturbation.
Too many sex books, guys. Too many sex books.
You got to
Does he
interview
have a
him
copy of the
next.
No.
Yeah, he was a
All
backer.
That's a little
backer
bugger.
number one.
Yeah.
That's a little bugger wearing a Batman
Top
cap.
reward tier.
Yeah.
He's
He
getting the
probably has his
mystery
own-
sex bag.
He probably already supported the Kickstarter directly.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, when we were editing this book, I kept thinking about I have a friend who's dating a girl who lives around the corner from me, and she has an 11-year-old daughter. And then
I honestly thought you said she is, and I was like, this
no,
is crazy.
has an 11-year-old
Yeah,
daughter.
yeah.
And then
Claire has a
and-
questionable
and
friend
then Really? In
11-year-olds.
comparison. And then MDT's daughter, too. And it's just like, I wish I could give them this book. I cannot because it is R-rated and that is very illegal.
Yes.
But there's so many pieces in there that I'm like, this is knowledge you need before you even start to become like a sexually aware being, because people are going to be talking to you about this indirectly well before you will ever have any mental idea that this is what's happening. So it's just like, I wish I could educate all the babies. Here, learn.
Yeah, I saw one of the contributors posting a link to it on her Twitter feed, and she was getting all these reactions because the comic is about being asexual and still wanting and like needing loving relationships. And all these people were just commenting saying, you know, like, these are my feelings articulated, and I've never been able to express it in this way before.
Wow.
So what's really cool about this book is we ask people to talk about sex, and we keep saying, like, this isn't an X-rated book. There's so many, like, great smut comics out there. So this is trying to tread very different territory, and it's like everyone's thoughts and feelings around this, like, very heavy present thing in all of our lives.
Yeah.
And people just came out with these thoughts and these perspectives that are just, like, things I would never have even thought to solicit.
Oh, it got
as a
so
concept.
niche so fast, and it was excellent.
Yeah. So there's just like such a huge range of experiences and
Do
preferences.
you think that within this volume that there's a collection of stories you could like take out and then create something else that would be more, not all ages necessarily, but more openly, you know, I guess a wider range of age appropriateness?
Yeah, because there's definitely like nudity in here. There's some things that are probably just like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, where it's just like, you know, this is just talking about.
It's like you could pull out a lot of the asexual comics, because I think those are really good examples of like a life experience that people don't get a lot of exposure to unless you have asexual friends who are very like open and talk about it, because
Right.
you wouldn't know that. It's not like people just wander around
Not
and
something
are
that
like,
just
here's
pops
my
up in every
sexual
conversation.
orientation at
Yeah.
all
Wait,
times.
what? Hold on. I've been doing
Well.
wrong.
Hello, my name is Joe.
You take a different
and-
approach, but that's okay.
I'm direct in every way.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of comics in there that are just like, this is like how sex fits into my life, which is very normal and not like crazy or high pressure. It's just like a very natural part of their relationships, or it's a very not natural, like naturally not part of their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I was reminded of years and years ago when we still did comics. We did a kids comic show,
Uh-huh.
and so we made a couple of books just for the kids. And going back through a lot of our older comics, we're like, you know, if we changed this one word or we changed this one phrase,
Like literally like one word in the whole book.
everything else, because we would have these banners with our stick figures on them, and kids would gravitate to them. We're
Yeah.
like, we have nothing for this.
You're
show.
like,
cute and
no,
fun,
but
and it
no.
was like,
We're so
no,
close.
no.
We were, like I said, just a few words away from having material the kid could read. And the idea that a lot of this could be educational and really useful.
Right.
When I was a teenager, I ran a Weird Al fan site because in the year 2000, expressing my feelings meant putting an HTML website together about it. So this is all about like the different adventures online and offline that I had during that era of my life.
We had someone question whether it was real. When
Oh.
you actually weren't at the table in this moment. He came by and he's like, "This isn't real," and I was like, "Actually, I knew her when, and I can guarantee you all of this is true." Like,
And there's
all of it.
wonderful photos of me when I'm like 14 and like not cute with Weird Al and his wife.
So cute.
Oh, it
just
is-
different cute.
It's like
Different
troll
cute.
cute.
troll cute.
So it's people keep flipping open to that and they're just like, no. Why would you print that?
You're like, I'm so proud.
Yeah. Let it ride.
Let
Own
it
your
ride.
own your embarrassment.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And what else?
Claire, what else do
Oh,
you
okay.
have here?
I'm next. So for SPX this year, I do hourly comics, which is where you draw a comic every hour about something that happened during that last hour. Anytime I have jury duty. So I combine them all together and put it into a zine thing. So you
That's a really
have.
nice cover.
It is.
Thank you.
Very
Like
classy.
how glossy
Yeah,
it is.
I was trying to float the line between like passport and legal tome at the same time. Also, the title is funny,
It
is.
is fun.
Duty.
right? It's funny. But I realized through putting this together, I basically have jury duty every 2 years.
That's
Oh,
about
shit.
right.
Yeah. So I've never been on an actual jury, but I've gone through the process of jury duty many times.
I have come close 4 times, I think.
Wow.
Almost got a grand jury.
Really?
Yeah.
Which
Because you're right outside D.C.
Yeah.
This was for our local county
Oh, okay.
court system. And in order to do the grand jury, you had to go for a day of orientation.
Right.
Wow.
So there was about 50 to 60 of us in the normal jury pool room, and we had to watch presentations. And it was a great day. I honestly didn't know that it was because I knew it was going to be there like 5 hours, 4 hours. I had so much fun, and the best. I mean, honestly, I enjoyed all the presentations. It was talking about the different aspects of the law that you might encounter on the grand
Right.
jury. And not all. I mean, they weren't like crowd-pleasing topics, like
Right.
like child abuse and things like that. But they were all interesting. And then like the last 40 minutes, and they set it up this way. These guys, 2 guys come out wearing like regular clothes, and they set up basically like science project backboards, and they're the drug guys. They do undercover drug work, and they would tell you about all of the drugs and the ways that like they can be manipulated and sold and used, and like challenges that they encounter.
It's like
and
a dare
stories.
refresher.
It
Yeah.
was awesome.
A condensed version of
Yeah,
Dare.
yeah, yeah.
I would go through that every day. they had so many like fun or at least interesting stories about things they had dealt with, and it's all in the guise of like so that when you're dealing with these cases, like the way that these things can happen. I didn't care. They were fascinating. They were great
Yeah.
storytellers, and I was so excited because they talked about how. Like, if you got on the grand jury, you would have like day trips to things, and
Wait,
you would have,
what?
It
Yeah.
sounded insane.
and you would have to meet up. I don't know if it was once a week for like 3 months or something. I was all in, but I did not get selected. I've never wanted to really serve on a jury the other times. Like I made it into a courthouse once, and then they kind of sent everybody out, and then they settled it like during lunch.
That's one of the things that
happened to me,
happens like
yeah.
all the time.
Right.
Like once they see the jury actually in the room, they're like, "Oh no,
It's like,
never
oh,
mind."
no.
That would be why, but that makes sense. But that was the closest. I actually got seated, I think, and then we took a recess and it was over.
Yep.
Never made it on. I made it into the courtroom one other time to be pulled. Nothing else. But this is the only time I really wanted it.
Yeah,
didn't
you're
get
like,
it,
"Give it to me, give it to me."
I think that's a lot of hours to go into something, and then they're just like, oh yeah, but no.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Well, they
But I
have to
still got
have
the
such
quick
like
class.
a large pool to be ready at
But it's
any
still like
time.
so much background information for like not even the first sweep.
For the first time this past year, I forget when the original notice was due, but I think it was during the spring, and at work we had a lot of yearbook stuff, so I didn't really feel comfortable taking off.
Right.
And so I rescheduled it for later, and for the first time in my adult life, my number didn't get like you call the number.
Oh,
to
you
see
call
it,
up and you
I
went
didn't have to go
needed.
in, and I couldn't believe it. I listened to
That
it
just
twice.
happened to me like a month ago, and I was like, should I always defer it, and then I don't have to go in on my rescheduled date?
So
Not necessarily.
to tie that into my jury duties here,
Yes.
I've never served jury duty. I've gotten 3, and I've called, and I've never been called in.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Ever? So you've never had to go and like sit there and do the thing?
You never earned your civic $9?
Oh, not at all.
It is
Wow.
a nine
So
civic
nothing
dollars.
past a phone call for me.
Wow. Oh, this last time
I'm
I
actually,
had.
like eventually I'm like disappointed at this point. Like I want to at least try
You're
something.
like,
You're like, what's
wanna
wrong
do
with
it.
me?
The PG, we live in Prince George's County, and the courthouse is in Upper Marlboro, which is a really good distance from our home.
It is.
So Leslie
Oh.
would enjoy a nice commute.
It'd be
Oh,
a
boy.
strong commute, but whatever.
Yeah,
It
City Hall in
happens.
Philadelphia is like 15 minutes
The
on
only
the, on
thing
the
that
trolley
sucks
for me.
is you have to be there at like 8:30.
Yeah,
and
it's
my
early as shit.
Yeah, it's just like very early. I mean, you get out at 2 if you get like kicked off. Like if you don't get selected, they're like, "Okay, you're done. Go home now." And I'm like, "Yeah, go take a
Cool.
nap." But the last time I had jury duty, the woman in the room where like everybody meets before they like assign you to whatever jury they're gonna like you'll be working with, she sang the Mr. Rogers theme song. Like she's just walking up and down the aisles and she's like, "Okay, everybody knows this one. Join me," and just singing it.
I don't like that at all.
It was
Yeah.
8:45 in the
I don't like
morning, and
that.
I was just like, "It's happening. It's really happening."
No, I feel like they would be like trying to lock the doors and setting the room on fire.
But
or
she could
something.
Ma'am,
sing
no,
it
thank you.
too, which was what was crazy about it. I was like, I think this is how she finds a way to enjoy her job, because she's like, "I love to sing. I know. I'm gonna sing every
I
morning."
find this so unnerving
Regardless
and
of how
creepy.
appropriate it is to my job.
Yep, it was. I guess it instilled a sense of community in all of us. I don't know.
We all had a shared experience where you were like, what is happening
Yep.
Yes.
right now?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, jury duty,
Jury duty. Good stuff.
mini comics.
What else do you have there? Kelly?
So I have the most recent issue of my book, The Catalog, which is a series
cat you can
subtitled
order?
My Every Single Tale.
Oh.
And it's
That's
all
like a
about
cat has a
it's
tail.
cats and tales are stories and
It's a pun.
this is crazy. Clever. It's all puns. But my mom was a veterinarian, or is a veterinarian, and
I was
had
gonna say, did she get fired or
Current. No,
she goes back and forth. She's like
She's
semi-retired.
freelance
Okay, yeah.
veterinarian.
Yeah.
Freelance.
She's in her
probably
60s.
Not
She's not doing that
wrong.
too much anymore. But we had lots of cats when I was growing up because my mom was a crazy cat lady. So these are all little short stories about cats that I had growing up.
Very cool.
So this one has stories about a cat that we had and then no longer had, not based on our own, not to like spoil this 5-page story, but it's the only cat we've ever had that ran away.
I was going to say, did she run away?
She ran away. She didn't like anyone except one other cat in our house, and then she was like, peace out, bitches. There's a story in here about the only cat that we've ever gotten that I just did not like when we first got him, so I gave him the name Demon because I was like, he was a demon
name.
animal. But then he endeared himself to me and was like one of our longest lived, most wonderfully
wow.
loved cats. And God, what's even the other one? Oh, there's another story about 2 kittens getting dumped off on our porch by a mom cat who then peaced out as well, and then we had to track these
Oh.
kittens down. Because one of them had like a bum eye, and we were like, "Oh my God, what are these injured kittens are running around our backyard right now?"
I love that feral cats know to go deposit their babies in your mom's
Yeah.
backyard, being like, she'll handle this.
Yeah,
No, in one of my other books,
got a
I was like,
reputation. She'll-
I had a
she'll
theory when
cover
I
it.
was a kid that there's like a waiting list, and the cats just know, like, as soon as one of them comes in, like within 6 weeks, another one's allowed to come in
Right.
to the queue. Yeah.
It's like you lived in a cat youth hostel or something. I don't
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not wrong.
And then they can
necessarily.
never leave.
Whoa,
Sorry,
now
cats.
it's just like the movie hostel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I didn't say this wasn't a horror
Cat
story.
horror.
But the
So,
cats, they're
before
so
you-
well loved.
Before you guys came over, a guy brought his little boy up.
Okay.
And
He was enamored with our backdrop.
Uh-huh.
yeah, so the
Who
little,
I mean, it
wouldn't
is
be?
a very fine
It is.
backdrop.
little guy
Beautiful.
walked up to it and he was just pointing at it. And his dad was like, "Hey, do you mind if I like, sit him up there, take a picture? Actually, sit him with you to take a picture with you?" He said, "Sure, we'll pretend to do interview." This guy is like 1.5, 2 years old.
Excellent.
It's like, we'll sit and we'll pretend we're talking. It's a good time. And actually, I don't even know if he's old enough. He's like 1, but so the guy sits down and says, "I'll hold him." And as soon as he gets close to me,
Well, at
Like-
first he was going to just let him stand on his own.
right, but the kid started acting a little like, I'm not into this.
Don't let me go.
And the dad was like, "Oh, God, I'll force him." And but in the nicest way.
So I came around to take a photo.
And then he held him, and the kid was not happy. The kid melted down immediately. Yeah.
Oh,
We'll pop this on
We'll
one
put
screen
that on
for
the screen.
everybody to see.
So
Why are you holding the mic? And it's like,
yeah. It-
You're
it-
so concerned that
Well,
you like broke this
at
child.
this point, I knew we only had
Too
one
late.
kind of photo we were going to get.
Oh my God.
And right after this, he looked at me with tears in his eyes, like, "What are you doing to me?"
And it was like, there we go. All right, we're out.
it's like,
I
nope,
hope
we're
this
done.
guy frames this photo and
He- no.
gifts it to the kid when he's like 16.
Yes.
He was like, "No, that's okay. I'm sorry about that." And I was like, "No, I'm sorry." He just took the kid away.
Yeah.
And as soon as he got to the edge of the table, he was better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, the other thing too, he picks him up and the kid's screaming, crying, and then the kid just points, like, "Get me the hell out of here."
I'm done.
I feel like kids a lot of time play like a game of chicken where they're just like, I'm cool. Oh my God, no, why did you do that? I'm not happy anymore.
Not cool.
Yeah.
Too
The
close.
thing is, kids usually love me, and
Oh,
this
yeah.
was an astonishing turn of events.
Well, that was the
Wow.
thing. When he walked up, he's like, "Ha ha ha," and he got over here. It's like, "Ah, maybe." And then it's because he got close, and it was just kind of overwhelming. And
he
then
was distraught.
he was.
And then by the time they made it past the camera, he was like, he still was red-faced, but he was having a good time again.
yeah.
Can you make this photo the new backdrop for next year?
Oh my God.
No, just like
8 by 10
just,
feet.
just
Warren, we
screaming
need to buy a new
children.
backdrop. Here's
Yeah.
why.
Here's why. This child.
Warren would appreciate that. He
Yeah.
would get the set.
I feel like that's his aesthetic.
Yeah.
Well, since the fire department didn't show up to prom, I think we can
We've
have.
earned the prize.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I like it. So like the metric for asking for new stuff is whether the fire department showed up that year.
Right.
Yes.
Did we get in trouble? No.
No.
All right.
No. So
Warren is still convinced it was the smoke machine, though. He was like, there was no smoke
we
machine
were told
and there
by the
was
fire
no fire
department that it
department.
was
Somebody
not
had
the
pulled
fog
an
machine.
alarm.
At-
Probably
yeah.
accidentally,
Yeah.
but that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yes. They
we know.
tracked down the exact one. So Warren, you're wrong.
Wrong.
Sorry,
Wrong.
Warren.
Wow. Yeah. No
Yeah.
prom next year, guys.
Maybe
Sorry.
no videos. We'll see.
No, now we've given Warren the prom that he wanted, and
That's
so now we get to have the reins of prom back again.
Yeah, we had a pajama party, slumber party.
Slumber
what was it?
party.
Prom.
Yeah, because the key was it couldn't just be a pajama party.
Yeah.
That was
It's a
Although
little too
there were
limiting,
an
yeah.
astonishing number of onesies.
there
were.
I was so impressed because there was not a repeat. Everyone was all
There
in.
wasn't a repeat.
There wasn't
Yeah.
a repeat.
No
No.
repeats.
You're totally right.
It was great.
It was all the people who just kept coming down in their jammy pants. And I was just like, everybody is 100% behind
I think
this.
it was like true freedom for people because they were like, I'm comfy
And
and I'm
Yeah.
Also, people
dancing.
wearing like really comfortable shorts and a shirt. I'm like, I bet that's their version of
This-
the pajamas.
They're
What
like,
they
this is
wear to
exactly
bed.
where I sleep in.
And I
Yeah.
love it. They're just like, I get to wear this now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And people kept saying like, oh, I didn't bring pajamas. I'm like, you're sleeping in something.
Right.
So
Well, you
Would
don't
you
know
have
that for
worn
sure.
to
or
bed
you're
tonight?
not, and then you are not allowed to
Although,
go.
interestingly enough, I brought my pajama prom costume and forgot to pack actual sleeping clothes. Like actual. So I've been sleeping in a t-shirt that I wore on Friday inside out all weekend.
That works.
Oh no, it's fine. It was just more of like, there's an irony here,
Yeah.
and this is just really proof of how my year is going.
Well, you prioritized. is
yeah,
what it was.
yeah, yeah,
Prom
yeah,
first.
yeah. It's
Sleep,
like
sleep whenever. That's
sleep
fine.
whatever. It's fine.
So what's going on in the future? What do you guys got coming up?
Sleep.
I'm getting married,
You
so
are
I'm
getting
done with
married.
comics for like 2 months.
The hell with comics.
Yeah, done.
Are you
Yeah.
excited about getting married?
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a big fancy pizza party. It's gonna be ridiculous. I'm stealing the whole photo booth setup.
Yes.
I'm excited for dirt cake personally.
Yeah, everyone's gonna get dirt cake.
Dirt cake is going to be
Not
so
doing
good.
real cake.
So
it's all dirt
good.
cake.
You guys are coming, right?
Oh, hell yes.
Yes. That
Yeah.
is correct. I'm bringing my own dirt too, so you don't have to waste it.
Oh,
on
thank
Yeah.
you. Aw.
You're welcome.
Authentic Maryland dirt.
Joe eats it often, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I interviewed some little girls yesterday, and I asked them about
Oh, the MDT
yeah.
child
Yeah.
crew.
about
Clara
their
and
favorite
crew.
sandwich,
Yeah.
I think, or something like that. And they got to me, and I said, I decided I added at the end, like, I get to answer as well. And at the end of that one, I said, my favorite sandwich, we put bread, and you put some dirt on the bread, and you put another piece of bread on there. It's really good.
Dirt
It's a
sandwich.
real rustic sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Very
they-
artisanal.
surprisingly, they didn't think it sounded so good.
Yeah. They're like,
Their palates are underdeveloped at that age.
No, I think it's
They
the
don't
other way
appreciate it.
around. They have too many taste buds.
Oh,
Too many
man.
taste
this
buds.
dirt's overwhelming. I
The,
can't
the
do it.
nuance is just too
It's like
extreme.
saying, like, if I got more blind, then my sight would be refined. Like, oh, I can see less, so what I do see, I'm really mature with.
Hyper-focused.
Yeah, these gray areas in my life, very clear.
Yeah, exactly. That's true, though. The gray areas in my life are the clearest.
Very clear.
It's all gray now.
It's all gray.
So where can people find your works online?
So Dirty Diamonds is dirtydiamonds.net. It has a link to our store Envy and all of that goodness, and all the issues are also available digitally, because we had someone come to the table and was like, I really want to buy this book, but my parents would totally know and they wouldn't be happy about it. And I was like, we have it digital.
We have ways.
So
And then my work you can find at kellyphillips.net. There is also a link to my web store from there.
Very
Excellent.
good.
Oh, guys, before we go, sorry, almost forgot. Mystery question.
yes,
Yes!
I was gonna say, if you shut this down without a mystery question, I'm gonna be
We're not
real
shutting this
Last
mic
year
down.
you guys all trolled me with the mystery questions.
That was so much fun.
That was really good.
I was exhausted after that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to play this game anymore.
It's a lot of work.
I get better at this every year. Oh no.
Rusty,
Until now,
you
right?
shouted like a Muppet.
There's just so many new rusty sounds happening.
Right. It's a very exciting weekend for Rusty Sounds.
Nope. Yeah. There you go.
There you are.
Oh, so another little kid came by that loved the machine.
Oh,
and
of
so
course.
we let him use it for fun. But then he's going to be disappointed because it's not like a toy or something. So they open it up, though, and a mom's like, what'd you get? And he goes, my paper.
And he was so
He was
happy.
happy as can be.
Well, you go first.
Who wishes to go first? Okay.
All right.
All right, mine reads, Rusty dominates Columbus, Ohio.
I do.
What do you dominate? First, tell me the story behind this.
Yes.
So my work sent me to Columbus, Ohio to learn about yearbooks because we print yearbooks.
Uh-huh.
Once I got there, I found out that it wasn't just learning about yearbooks. We had bought this yearbook company, and all these people were going to lose their jobs. So that was fun.
Oh my god.
And so,
Oh no.
And then
Do we really want to talk about that in the video?
it's fine. I don't care. It happened, right?
So
It's fine.
Public
the
knowledge.
domination
Yeah.
thing really came from my perspective of what he was doing.
Yeah.
He went out there for a week, and they were so happy with it because he was helping out. He was actually helping out as he was learning. And the guy they were so happy with Rusty, he's like, "Can you stay for another week?" And Rusty did not like the hotel he was staying in.
No.
He didn't like his setup. He was unhappy.
And we also had to do DC Zine Fest that weekend.
Sure, that wasn't the biggest part.
No.
And Rusty was like, "I don't want to stay," and he was very down, feeling bad about
Yeah.
it. And I talked to our boss Ken, and he was like, "Well, why doesn't Rusty just tell him he needs to be in a new hotel?" And you know what? Tell him he needs to come home for the weekend. And so Rusty went in there. He's like, "I'd be happy to stay. Can you set me up in a new hotel?" And I gotta fly home for the weekend.
Right.
And they agreed to it because they
Wow.
loved Rusty.
Yes. So they paid to fly me home just to go to
And then
the
he
Zine
went
Fest.
back and
to
he
go back.
continued dominating.
And then
Wow.
I got a suite at a new hotel.
Yes.
And it was amazing.
They bought him dinner almost every night.
And you know what? We've told this story plenty of times. If people from work see this, I don't care. So,
That's the true mark of someone who's been employed for
Yeah.
a while.
so,
You're
I'm
just
not
like,
talking.
yeah, it's all right.
so I got like a per diem to spend on like meals and whatnot. And the thing is, anything I didn't spend, I had to give back.
Right.
And so I had to keep receipts from everything.
Right.
Well, the guy that owned the company that I was out there with kept buying me dinner and lunch. And so I wasn't actually spending any of the money.
Oh, right.
And then I'm like, well, shit, I don't want to give it back. I need to find something I can use it for. So the last day I'm there, without even thinking about that part, I went to a designer toy store like that did vinyl figures and toys.
Oh
and
god.
bought a bunch of shit, came to like $75, $80. And then they were like, well, our credit card machine's not working. Can we use one of the like slide machines? Is that okay? I was like, oh, absolutely. And the thing is, when they did that, it didn't say what it was or what store it was or whatever. And so I kept that receipt and I went, dinner.
Genius.
And thank you, work, for buying me some really nice figures.
Are we outside of the statute of limitations on this story, or is it?
It's,
I'm not
it's fine.
talking about it.
I don't-
I was like,
That's how Rusty dominated Columbus, Ohio.
for these reasons, I dominated Columbus.
Damn.
Ohio.
So it's all kind of just like, finding creative ways to get exactly what you want,
Yeah.
and people just caving.
Oh, yeah.
I think that sounds like the definition of dominating something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I have this happen in my life a lot as well, and I feel like that has helped us trample all over SPX as well.
Nice.
I feel like prom is the embodiment of us dominating a piece of this entire
So
convention.
you're saying you dominated SPX?
Did dominate SPX.
Maybe
Wow.
a little.
We get some special treatment when we come here now.
Yeah.
For no reason.
I want to argue
It is
that.
kind of no
We
reason.
just came to our first year. We realized it's our 5th SPX. And I think we just came in the first year and we just had like so much raw enthusiasm that you guys were all just like, we need to harness this into a party.
Yes.
Well,
How
you
can
also
we
were
focus
like
that?
trolling MDT about prom.
Well,
We were
because
like,
he
we
like
won't use
he
it.
casually dropped it, and we
Yeah.
were like, wait, but
And
yes.
I wouldn't let it go.
Yeah.
I just kept tweeting at him every few months being like, yo,
Like, follow
what's
through.
the deal with prom? And he was like, all right,
Do it. Yeah.
dare met. Prom is happening and you have to plan it.
In fact, I think I remember it. We discussed it, and then at one of our like planning meetings, we came up with, okay, we're doing this, right? And somebody it started out with just saying like, can we have music and can we have like a dance floor or whatever? And so he had posted on Twitter and it was like, there will be sweet jams at SPX after party this year. And then like a week later, it was like, yeah, we're having a prom.
No, it's
Full
prom.
on prom.
It's
Yeah.
prom.
Yeah.
Claire, what was your question?
Oh, so my question is, what should Joe's new nickname be?
Ah.
I've had a lot of nicknames in my life.
Really?
only-
Wait, can I know
only,
what the?
Only two, honestly.
That is a lot. I mean,
So yeah.
So my birth certificate, spoiler, says Jose. I'm not. So my first nickname is Joey, and Joe is a nickname.
right?
I don't really think of anything else though. I mean, I nicknamed myself Geesh.
Geesh. Is it good?
Sound like
I
yeesh,
told
but a
Rusty
little-
story once about. How did I word it?
It was like they used to call me Geesh in high school. And I was like, really? And he goes, yeah. They said, Geesh, you're a grown man. Get out of our high school. And that was all that's the whole story. That was
That's
it.
the
it,
whole
but
But
it
then,
became a thing.
but then Geesh, like, yeah, we'll stick with that.
That's about it for me.
Yeah.
See, I feel like
I feel like you need to
I
give
guess
him like an
people call me the
honorific.
king. I think people call me the
Yeah,
king,
you get
too.
a lot of king
They
for
don't
the
know my
crown.
name, so they call me that.
but it's like Joe is your nickname.
Yeah.
So and if I changed that, then you wouldn't be Joe and Rusty.
Yeah.
And I
I am looking for
I
a way out.
need that.
He needs-
No, you're
needs an
doomed.
escape.
As someone who is also the second half of a 7th grade forever friendship, you're done. This is
Yeah.
it. Here's your life.
We are the mirror universe
Sorry, buddy.
counterparts.
Wah, wah,
That was my way. Okay,
fine. I won't
stuck.
give it to you.
Oh,
Wow,
damn.
it's kind of a cop out.
That's fine. Oh, I'm sorry. Have you met my life? All of it?
Well, I guess
just saying.
when you dominate SPX, that's what you get to
See?
do.
We don't even have to answer the
The hell
question.
with this question.
And the interview's over.
The end.